Chapter 46, Machine Gun Boy. Christmas morning, 1980. Someone living in or near my apartment complex called the Costa Mesa Police Department. It was reported that a man matching my description had fired an automatic rifle into the air after yelling, "Fuck Christmas." At the same time, and in the same neighborhood, I was hurriedly stowing my Mini 14 semi-automatic rifle, my 12-gauge riot gun, several spare 30-round magazines, and 5 boxes of shotgun slugs into the trunk of my car. I jumped into my vehicle and headed north on Pacific Coast Highway. My poor El Camino was no more, and I was driving an old Plymouth someone had loaned me. The 1-hour drive to Long Beach was uneventful. No lights, no sirens. My driver's license had been suspended about 8 months previously because of my traffic collision, hit-and-run property, and drunk driving misunderstanding in downtown Los Angeles. My previous DUI and the very intense encounter with the Long Beach police and their scary jail hadn't stopped me from driving, license or no license. I paid my fine, made what financial restitution I was capable of making, and felt squared away in the karmic sense of the word. I didn't need a scrap of paper from the man telling me I could drive. I rented a motel room on the Long Beach-Wilmington border and took a little vacation. I drank in familiar bars in Long Beach and killed cockroaches in my motel room. 1 week later, I was down to my last $10. I called several friends in Costa Mesa to check on the situation. I was informed the police wanted to arrest me for, quote, firing a machine gun on Christmas morning, unquote. I decided to go home anyway. It was January 2nd, 1981, a brand new year. Maybe it would just all go away. I stopped in Huntington Beach on the way back to Costa Mesa and dropped off the rifle and shotgun at a coworker's house. I told him what was going on, and we agreed I shouldn't drive into Costa Mesa bristling with firearms. I arrived at Dick's Horseshoe Saloon around 9 in the morning, parked in the lot behind the bar, and went inside for a drink. I still had my $10, and I deserved a snort or two to relieve my stress. I was working on my 4th tequila and grapefruit juice when a uniformed Costa Mesa cop walked through the door, in one door and out the other. My highly developed yogic intuition told me the officer was looking for me. I stage whispered proudly to the other guys at the bar, "They're after me, I gotta go." Nobody looked up from their drinks or seemed to give a shit. I got into my borrowed car and slowly pulled out of Dick's parking lot. My goal was to take residential streets home and go hide in bed. I lived about 2 miles from Dick's Horseshoe Saloon. From my rearview mirror, I noticed a red subcompact car following me. I turned left, they turned left. They looked like 2 guys I'd seen in the bar several minutes earlier. I turned right, they turned right. I suddenly got a sinking feeling in my stomach. I turned left, and there were police cars everywhere. The street was completely blocked. The 2 guys from the little red subcompact ran up to my car, pistols drawn. I noticed one officer was pointing a .380 auto at me. I thought, .380 must be the minimum caliber allowed for the Costa Mesa plainclothes officers. My driver's side door flew open, and the next thing I remember is my nose hitting the hard surface of the street. What's the karma with my nose in the street all the time flashed through my mind. Face down in the middle of a residential street, I experienced everything in slow motion one more time. The cops handcuffed my arms behind my back with just the appropriate amount of force for the situation. The muzzles of the .380 auto and a police shotgun were pointed at my head. I couldn't help but notice the officer's shotgun, was a very cool Remington 870 with an extended high-capacity magazine. It was superior to my ported Mossberg 500 with its standard length magazine, 18.5-inch barrel, and pistol grip. I made a mental note to buy an 870 in the near future. Neighborhood residents were gawking out their window and standing in their doorways. I enjoyed the attention. 4 Dick's Horseshoe-sized drinks in less than an hour had sedated the part of my mind that could feel shame. I was having a great time. "Where's the machine gun?" the officers kept yelling at me. I took the attention off my dramatic self for a moment and noticed the police had thoroughly searched my car looking for this alleged machine gun. I didn't answer. The cops helped me to my feet. I stood proudly, hands cuffed behind my back, my slightly bloodied nose a silent testimony to the world that I may be yet another victim of police brutality. The officers placed me in the back seat of one of the police cars, and we all convoyed the few remaining blocks to my apartment. Once inside my apartment, the police began searching the place. They were making a real mess. One of the undercover officers said, "We've already got you on second offense drunk driving, driving on a suspended license, and if you don't turn in that rifle or carbine or machine gun or whatever it is, we'll make your life really miserable." I picked up the phone, called my friend in Huntington Beach, told him I was in custody and the Costa Mesa Police Department needed to examine the guns I'd left with him. I asked him to bring them to the police station as soon as possible. We all left my apartment and I was booked into the Costa Mesa jail. After initial booking, I was transported handcuffed and at gunpoint to a local hospital. I hadn't cooperated with the breath or urine tests, so they had to take me to a hospital in order to draw blood. I was informed later my blood alcohol level was over twice the legal limit for a drunk driving charge. On the way to the hospital, I heard the police radio chatter. "Did anybody get Machine Gun Boy?" The officer driving me to the hospital replied, "Yeah, I've got him here with me." I thought Machine Gun Boy was a very cool name. My co-worker brought my guns into the police station. The police firearms expert examined the weapons and returned them to me when I was released on bail several days later. My firearms were legal and could not be fired in a fully automatic mode. I was either not Machine Gun Boy, or I emptied a 30-round magazine so fast, muzzle pointed harmlessly toward the ocean, that it sounded like a machine gun.